Welcome to American Legion Post 31 baseball action on Munger Vision on PEGTV Channel 15 Sports. You're looking at Chad Ryan. He'll get the start tonight. It's teams that should be very familiar with each other. It's Hartford Post 26 taking on Rutland Post 31. And it was just a little over a week ago that these two teams played in a doubleheader, which was termed non-league. This is a league game tonight. But in that doubleheader a week ago, Rutland sweeping them. And the first game was 15-8. Rutland, Mike Sorelli was the winning pitcher. And the second game was 17-0. Zach Aquistabase was the winning pitcher. And you're looking at Matt Paz. He'll lead off the order here for Hartford, and he'll show a little small ball and pull the bat back as the pitch came in tight, and he'll be ball one. Besides Chad Ryan out there on the mound, you have Ryan Carter at the catcher's position, Garrett Brewer is at first base, Chris Parker's at second, Matt Sharon is your shortstop, and Jeff McLaughlin is at third base, and that's Nub Fall for a strike. Your outfield has Jeff Perry in left field, Rob Dorian's in center field, and John Holtman will get the start in right field. Tony Sorelli, the head coach, back on the bench after a brief illness, kept him out a couple games. You have Jeff Brewer and George Bennett, the assistant coaches. Ron Fairbanks is the team manager, and the Batgirl is Natasha McPhee. And that could become a gap shot. That's going to roll and hit and bounce in the gap for at least a double. And Piles will pull up, and you'll have a leadoff double. Good piece of hitting right there. Took the low outside pitch and went to the opposite field with it, and he's got Hartford in a position here to have a leadoff runner off in scoring position for Sean Stone. So Ryan now will see him shaking his head at himself. He'll be pitching from the stretch now. Really wasn't a bad pitch at all. And it is muggy and warm and sunny out, and that means that the left fielder's got to contend with that sunshine on the horizon. It's a 5:30 start time, and now the pitch will be a ball. Got the standings here for you. We'll go over those as this night progresses on. Post 31 right now sitting at the top spot in the Southern Division. They have one league loss, and of course that was an extra inning loss to Bennington in Bennington. They're 6-1 in league play, 12-4 overall. They own a sweep of Essex this year, and they split with South Burlington, who's number one in the Northern Division with one league loss. Now nobody's going. Carter able to pounce on it and not have any damage be done. But so I go down through, Chester Post 67 is at 5-1 in league play, and Bennington 5-2, Bellows Falls 4-2, and then Hartford 4-3. So just 2 games out in league play behind Rutland, and this is a very important game for both clubs tonight. That's a strike right there, and they get 3 balls and 1 strike. Hartford's Matt Paz led off with a double. Sean Stone's got the count in his favor at 3 balls, 1 strike, and Chad Ryan on the mound getting set here to try to get into a groove and a rhythm for Post 31. And that'll be a full count now as he'll foul that off, and it'll be a strike. The outfield actually relatively shallow as they've moved in. On deck for Hartford will be Sean Fernandez, the third baseman. Again, there's hardly a breeze right now at this moment tonight blowing. Now that could change throughout the evening. That'll be a walk, and runners get on. First 2 batters will get on base, and now Sean Fernandez coming up. So he'll step up there, in Hartford being the road team, looking to break on top first here against Post 31. St. Petersfield is where the action is taking place tonight. And then speaking of that Chester squad, that's in the second spot right now for, if he wasn't holding the runner on, not with first and second, so Ryan actually very smart not to get the balk called. He finished the throw through even though Brewer wasn't on the bag. Fernandez just waiting the pitch to come from the stretch. Ryan, he'll check the runner at second, and that could be, when that could drive into everything. That's going to be way back and bounce. 1 run in, and they're going to wave him to third and hold him. So the run will come in. It's 1-0. It'll become a double down there. You can see number 12 with his back to you. That's Sean Fernandez. He just cranked it. And runners at second and third. And Tyler Perrin up now. He's the cleanup hitter, Perrin is, and he's the second baseman. So Chad Ryan going to get a little chat right now as they're going to come out and talk with him. And I'll bring pitching coach Jeff Brewer out, along with catcher Ryan Carter. So very early in this contest, already a meeting on the mound as they've had Jeff Brewer come out and talk to Chad Ryan. Let's see what changes, if any, they've made in their strategy as far as maybe calling a sequence of pitches, or maybe he just went out and tried to settle them down. Again, that was a close pitch, but it will not be called a strike. It'll be a ball, and he'll be back down in the count. And he's pitched from behind the count early here. He's giving up 2 doubles and a walk. And he's got the cleanup hitter up there now, Perrin. That'll be ball 2. A lot of it is just mechanics, but at this point right now, he's just thinking too hard. Just let your natural ability take over, let your arm relax, and just throw the ball. Don't think so much. And that is going to be to the shortstop, and he'll get the force out. Yeah, they got him. Nice play by Matt Sharon getting over to McLaughlin and laid the tag down. So they get 1 out. The run does cross the plate in Sean Stone. So a force out, 6-4. And now the pitcher for tonight for Hartford would be Logan Skelza. And so Skelza coming up with a runner at first base. Well, now, again, we'll see if Hartford wants to try to be creating some offense with their base running ability. And that pitch is a strike to Skelza. After Skelza, unless he hits into a double play, will be one of their better hitters on the team. Pat Riley will be on deck. Again, Hartford coming in at 4-3 in league play, just 2 games off the pace to Rutland. That's going to be popped up, and Carter looks in. Nope, right out of room. He got right to the screen, and the ball wouldn't cooperate with him, and it'll be just a foul ball strike. But I started to tell you, I mean, if you look through the record, Brattleboro at 4-2, Bellows Falls at 4-2, Hartford at 4-3. Then you go to Windsor and Woodstock, both 1-6. But I think the most surprising one to me is Fairhaven with some real good pitchers over there at 0-7. Oh, that's going to be a tough play. He's going to scoop fire and just did get him. Brewer, rock solid. Runner ran into him and went over backwards. And that's probably like hitting a parked Mack truck right there. If you notice, Brewer didn't budge an inch after he got hit. So Perrin will go down to second base, and Skelza will ground out 2-3, and did it the hard way. Now Pat Riley coming up with 2 down and a runner at second. You see just how agile and quick Carter is from behind the plate on that play. So Hartford, 2 runs this first inning, and it's not over. Like I said, they have Perrin at second base, and Riley at the plate. Good start for the road team, Hartford. Hartford's one of their biggest problems they had in the games I watched earlier here that I taped is some suspect defense, and then their pitching was very thin. Now that could all change tonight. I didn't see Skelza pitch in the last series. That'll be outside. Chad Ryan will make it a 1-1 count. Again, PEGTV's website is www.pegtv.com. They're located at Building 24 in the House Center, and their phone number is 747-0151. And that's going to be up the middle, and Matt Sharon will charge, set, fire, got him. Hartford, though, after a half inning of play, will have a 2-0 lead over post 31. So as usual, it'll be Rob Dorian in that leadoff spot, and Rutland looking to do some damage on that 2-0 deficit, and Skells out there, a left-hander, a lot of movement on the pitch. It'll be outside. He has some good pop on the ball in his warm-up pitches. And he'll work really quick here after that first pitch. He'll get set and miss ball 2 down and low inside. 2-0 now. The score and 2-0 the count. Matt Sharon on deck and Jeff McLaughlin batting number 3, and Ryan Carter's your cleanup hitter. Great pitch. Swings through it for a strike. And then just going up to the northern standings real quick, like I said, South Burlington the Knights. Now you saw them on Channel 15 on Munger Vision twice. They stand at 7-1 in their league play, 13-5 overall. Rutland's 12-4 overall, but they split with the Knights. It goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. But you start looking through there, and there's some surprises, like Essex down there at 2-5 in league play, and that'll be a full count now. So Dorian with a 3-ball, 2-strike count, looking be the catalyst he's been all year from that leadoff spot, and he'll fly it out, pop it up, and it's going to be Wetzel dropping the ball. Yeah, he wasn't taking it out of the glove to the hand. He just plain flat out dropped the ball. So Ryan Wetzel will muff that play, and Matt Sharon up now. Now, like I said, there really is no breeze to complain about. The sun's not in his eyes. Not sure. He just didn't get a hold of the ball and hold on to it, I guess. But now Rutland will have that gift base hit there. We'll see if Dorian will be off to second base. Oh, that looks playable. Catcher, no, it's going to be over the backstop. At first, he was tiptoeing there, the catcher behind the plate, Matt Paz, and I thought he might have a shot at the ball, but it'll be out of ball or the screen for strike one. Yeah, Sharon's been a nice number 2 man behind Dorian in there. That's really been a solid top of the order. Yeah, and then you throw McLaughlin and then Carter in at the 3-4 spot. Yeah, and Wetzel's got another chance to make the catch, and he will this time and hold on to it. It'll be out number 1. The runner can't advance up, so Sharon will fly out to right field. Now McLaughlin again being real solid in that 3 spot, real solid over at third base. And you start going through this Rutland lineup batting wise, you have Carter and Equistapace back to back. Like I said, that's just a pitcher's nightmare. And that's going to be a ball inside. And then you go to the number 9 spot. Well, it'd be Brewer there. He's been hot. He's broke out with slump. He's had some big hits his last several games up. And they've got him in the 9th spot. What a luxury. And that's going to be a base hit. That's going to drop, bounce in, and Furman will retrieve it, hit the cutoff, and now put runners at first and second with 1 down. And I'll bring up Ryan Carter now, the cleanup batter, the catcher. And you look at Parker, Ryan, Perry, all through that. I mean, it's a solid defensive team Rutland is, and they're solid all the way through their batting order. So Skelza against Carter with 1 out, 2 on. And that was dropped off the plate a little too early, and will be called ball 1. Now, it's going to be a tough thing to pitch around Carter right here with runners at first and second and 1 out. You want to load the bases up, you got to come to him. And inside pitch, nicked the corner, called a strike. So it's 2 breaking balls he's thrown Carter. As Skelza went right back inside again. Nice job of tying Carter up, and that'll make it a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Oh, and with Skelza will have to get a hit K right here, make it the second out, and not allow the runners a chance to move up on the bases. Hope you've enjoyed all the American Legion baseball action brought to you by Munger Vision and PEGTV all season long. Still a lot more to come, plus the Southern playoffs. And that'll be in the dirt. You can see Carter telling his teammates to hold up, and that will even the count up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, you can tune in Saturday afternoons to Channel 15 starting at 4 o'clock, and you'll get to see the games of the week. And that's all the sports that's been accumulated for that week. Starts airing at, oh, big strikeout. Got him on a breaking ball. So 2 down now, and Zach Equistapace, the DH up. So Equistapace trying not to waste those 2 runners out there at first and second base, wants to drive them in. And we've seen Zach with some big home runs this year, and ooh, that just missed. You see the catcher kind of freeze there. Thought he might have gotten the corner, but he did not get the call, and it'll be ball 1. So Skelza trying to work out a little bit of a jam here in his first inning. Will be down low in the dirt with ball 2. Nice stop by Matt Paz behind the plate to keep the ball in front of him and in play. So Logan Skelza will come in high to Equistapace. Now, the on-deck hitter, like I said, just doesn't get any easier through the lineups. Chris Parker, and he's been spraying that ball all over the place. He's had a couple of big game-winning hits. Seems to make contact all the time. Equistapace sitting there taking all the way. We'll make it a 3-ball, 1-strike count. 2-0 Hartford. We're in the bottom of the first. Supposed to go 7 tonight. And that looks like Furman's got a beat on it. He's calling for it, and he's going to make the catch, and he'll strand 2. And at the end of 1, it'll be 2-0 Hartford over post 31. It'll be Ryan Wetzel, Dennis Furman, and Zach Pickett, the 3 due up here, the 7, 8, 9 spot for Hartford. So they had a couple doubles in that first inning and led to 2 runs. They were helped by a walk in there, and they retrieved the ball and get it back in. So it's a 0-1 count, no balls, 1 strike. Again, great night for baseball action. You got to get down to St. Peter's Field and catch some of these games live, but I can tell you, he's got to go home after and turn on Channel 15 and watch the replay. And actually, there's a better crowd here for a weeknight game than there was for the weekday game the other day. The winning pitcher in that Woodstock game ended up being Bill Scholdice. Came in a wild game. Got the win for Rutland. And he went for it. Some kind of sinking ball they had, like a breaking ball with a sink on it, and it just fouled off in an 0-2 count. Yeah, Hartford led the game off in the first inning with a double, a walk, and a double, and they made the most out of what they had out there. Came out with 2 runs, and that's going to be Brewer with the catch. And you might have saw it. I was a little late getting over there with the camera, but that's a line drive out to Brewer, and so we'll have Dennis Furman, the center fielder, up for the first time tonight. So we are in the second inning, top of the second to be exact, and Hartford in a league matchup taking on Rutland. It's post 26 at the plate, and Rutland post 31 in the field defensively. And they're just waiting for Ryan Carter. He's making a little equipment adjustment there on his strapping on his helmet. And Chad Ryan likes to pitch from that full windup. Will be low below the knee for ball 1. And again, I'll just start plugging away now. You might remember it. The first Saturday in November is the really big show, the talent show fundraiser for the United Way of Rutland County. And of course, it's at the beautiful Paramount Theater, and it's always on Channel 15 afterwards, several times. But it's time to start thinking about getting ready for that. Oh, nice pitch. Nice pitch, and make it a 1-ball, 2-strike count to the number 8 hitter, Furman. And he tried to come back with, I believe, was a breaking ball, and it just slipped out of his hand, and that'll be a 2-2 count now. If you're going to have one slip out of your hand, that was placed in the count to get it done. Chad Ryan on the mound, kind of guy, once he finds his rhythm, he wanted that one at the knee, didn't get a full count now. He's already issued 1 walk in the ball game. That was Sean Stone back in the first inning, and remember, he came around to score the game's 2nd run. Got him with an elevated fastball for the first strikeout of the night, and Chad Ryan couldn't have picked a better time. 2 down now, and now Zach Pickett, the left fielder, up. So Chad Ryan trying to regain here and get a 1-2-3 second inning as he pitched 6 deep in that first inning. And again, fastball up in the zone, and he went up after it and fouled it straight back. 0-1 the count. I love it when they start off something like that and get ahead in the count. And now he'll probably come back with some form of a breaking ball. Chad Ryan, Mill River graduate. Big football star over at Mill River. And he came back with the breaking ball and got him on the outside corner, kind of waving at it. That was a nasty pitch to a right-handed hitter. And it goes to 2 strikes now. Chad Ryan throwing a lot less pitches here in the second inning so far. Check swing popped up. Brewer says he's got it. And he does. So Brewer had 2 putouts that inning, and there'll be a 1-2-3 inning defensively for Rutland. And Rutland's going to be looking at Chris Parker, Chad Ryan, Jeff Perry. That's the 3 due up, and if they get to a number 4 hitter, it's going to be Big Garrett Brewer. And it's a good eye laying out that pitch from the lefty Skells. It'll be down in the dirt for ball 1 to Parker. Only scoring taking place in the top of the second by Hartford, and they kind of got settled down there at the plate in the second inning, and we're retired 1-2-3. Rutland with 2 runners on in that first inning. That's going to be a pop out to the shortstop where it'll be caught by Sean Stone. I said Rutland had 2 runners on in the first inning and couldn't advance any further than the first and second. So with 1 down, Chad Ryan coming up now. And a good time to tell you to watch Sports Beat on Channel 15. It's the Everything Show. It's on Monday afternoons at 4:30, Tuesdays at 5:30, and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. And you can see Ryan just kind of slink back a little bit from that pitch that was a tad bit too tight for him for a ball. Again, Zach Pickett out there in left field is going to have the sun in his eyes. And this looks like it's going to be on the infield. Yep. Perrin will make the catch, and that's 2 down. And 2 very quick outs. Now Jeff Perry up. And Rutland right now just making the night real easy so far for Skelza here, as they're going after a lot of first and second pitches in the count. Now be inside for a ball. Low and inside for a 1-ball, no strike count. Skelza from that full windup with nobody on base will whip it in there and just miss off the corner. So 2 balls now, no strikes. To Jeff Perry. Now we've seen Perry's in left field tonight, but we've also seen him play real decent at shortstop. And there's one right at the knee. Good pitcher's pitch. And it'll be a 2-1 count now. Yeah, don't forget this. When we start talking seasons, fall seasons, we're talking about the Rutland Park and Recreation Department. That's a base hit for Perry. We're talking about the Halloween parade coming up, and that's going to be a big turn, and he's going to settle in at first base. So a 2-out single by Jeff Perry. Now Garrett Brewer up. Brewer represents the number 9 hitter, so that means Rob Dorian, the top of the order, on deck here in the bottom of the second, 2-0 Hartford. They're in the field defensively with the lighter blue uniforms on, and Rutland at the plate with the dark blue uniforms with the red sleeves. And like I said, by Brewer's own admission, he was mired in a little bit of a mini slump a couple games ago. But boy, he broke out of that in good shape. He's been hitting the ball real well. So he had the game-winning hit against Bennington here over the past weekend. A 2-run double in the bottom of the 9th. And that's going to score. That's going to score a lot of runs. That's going to bounce and ground root double. That killed Rutland right there. They would have easily scored Perry. Yeah, that would have easily scored Perry, but because it was a ground root double, it bounced over the wall. He got stopped at third base. So kind of a bad break there for Rutland, and now top order Rob Dorian up. Remember, his fly ball to right field was just flat out dropped. But Dorian now the chance to tie the game up with a base hit. Right at the third baseman, it goes through Fernandez, and by the time he recovers it, everybody will be safe. They will get a run, and it did look like he was going to be able to pick that one off the shoe tops for the out, but it had enough muscle on the ball to bust through his glove, and Jeff Perry will score. Brewer going to third base. Remember, there were 2 outs, so everybody there off on anything. The runners were running on everything, and that's going to be Dorian at first. First and third for Matt Sharon with 2 outs in a 2-1 game. And boy, Hartford, remember what we were talking about with their pitching being thin and their defense being suspect. They had a drop ball by the right fielder, and then that right there could have been a playable ball by the third baseman. And they're going to throw down, and Dorian there well ahead of the throw as they threw down to Pat Riley. And that was first baseman's Riley, and the catcher was Matt Paz. And Matt Sharon, who flied out his first time up. Tell you what, that was a here's my move as he really signaled over that he was going to be throwing the ball to first base. Now as the lefty goes, he's already got an advantage by looking over at the base runner. That'll sail high, and tell you, this is all taking place with 2 down, and it goes for a 3-ball count. And if he walks him, that'll load the bases up. That would bring up Jeff McLaughlin. And that's what happened. He walked him, and Dorian will go down to second base. Sharon will go over to first, and Jeff McLaughlin up now with Ryan Carter on deck. Remember, he had 2 pop-ups to start this inning. Parker popped up to the shortstop, and then Chad Ryan popped up to second base. And then everything kind of got messy for him as Perry singled and scored, and Brewer hit a double, and then the error on the Rob Dorian hit, and that'll be high for a ball. Yeah, it was around the letters. He was over the plate, but it definitely was high. Now make it a 1-ball, no strike count. Hartford with a 2-1 lead, but that's kind of swishing right now. Well, that's got a chance to be caught on the hip there, and that'll end the threat to leave them loaded. They do pick up a run. They cut the lead down to 2-1 going into the third. Hartford with the lead. In the top of the third, it's the top of the order. Matt Paz up. He doubled and scored back in the first inning. Chad Ryan had a 1-2-3 second inning, and that'll be ball 1 to get things underway. is still Garrett Brewer at first base defensively. Chris Parker is at second. Your shortstops, Matt Sharon and Jeff McLaughlin's at third base. Ryan Carter behind the plate. And Chad Ryan got a very generous strike call right there. He's on the mound. Rob Doring's your center fielder. John Holtman's the right fielder. And Jeff Perry is the left fielder. And there's strike two. So Chad Ryan up in the count now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sean Stone and Sean Fernandez due up at the number 2 and 3 spots this inning, and also that's where they fall in the order. And that looks to be playable, and Perry will make the snag. And again, he's looking into the sunshine, and he's got no sunglasses on, but he's played here before, obviously for the Rutland County Royals. This was their home field. And Sean Stone up. He walked and scored the game's second run back in the first inning. So Chad Ryan gets that all-important leadoff batter out. And he'll fire away, and that'll be too far outside. Nice little backhand stop by Ryan Carter. And you say, what's the importance of that? There's nobody on base, Jared. Well, it keeps the speed and the rhythm of the game going. He doesn't have to get up, chase the ball down to the backstop and all that. He just caught it and threw it right back out. And that's coming right at Dorian. Yeah, he's got it. Never have any doubts when the ball's hit at Rob. He's pretty solid out there. That's 2 down now. Both on fly balls. Now Fernandez, he had an RBI his first time up. And again, Chad Ryan, number 27, with his back tee on the mound, looking for his second 1-2-3 inning of the evening. And he's got a good shot at it. Matt Sharon skips, sets, settles, fires, and that's 6 in a row retired now. In the last 2 innings, it's been 1-2-3, 1-2-3. So Chad Ryan finding his rhythm now. Ryan Carter at the plate to start off the bottom of third against Logan Skelza. Carter, Aquistapace Parker. Carter striking out his only time up back in the first inning and takes a ball right there. Skelza worked the first inning where he allowed 2 runners to get on base, and that's going to be foul for a strike. He even slings out at 1 ball, 1 strike. And then he got extended. He gave up a run, left the bases loaded in the second inning, so he's trying to follow Chad Ryan's lead here and kind of settle down as the game progresses along. And that's going to be through the hole. Base hit for Ryan Carter as he just powered it through the hole at shortstop. He'll take the turn and go back to the bag. So the leadoff batter on base via the single. And I'll bring up another powerful hitter in Zach Aquistapace. He flied out to center field where Dennis Furman made the catch. Carter is being held on by Riley. And oh, what a shot. What a shot. Here it hit the wall, hit the string, and it's a home run for Aquistapace. I never could really find it, but you hear the thumping around of when it hit the aluminum bleachers out here. And Aquistapace will bring in Carter, a 2-run shot. And again, that's a pretty decent poke by a big guy. And that'll make it 3-2 now, Rutland with their first lead of the evening. That was pretty awesome to watch. Like I said, you put Carter and Aquistapace back-to-back in any lineup, and that's got to be quite a little bit of a pit in the stomach of the pitchers. Chris Parker up. Hard act to follow, a 2-run homer, but Parker up, and he popped up to the shortstop. Sean Stone, his only time up. So we'll see how Skelza responds to that monster drive by Aquistapace. And it's so hard. I try to locate the ball, but I'm trying to zoom back out. But you get the gist. It's a pretty good shot. And right there, the pitcher just took too long to settle in on a signal I liked, pitch he liked. So the batter stepped out and called time. Parker's set now, back in on the right side of the box, and that'll dip outside and be a ball. Well, now leaving it up at 1 ball, 1 strike to score. 3-2 Rutland as they've come back from a 2-0 deficit at the end of 1 inning of play. And of course, Parker with a good eye knows that's not in the strike zone. To lay off it and goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. A lot more baseball action, not only live here at St. Peter's Field in Legion Ball, but also on Channel 15. And like I said, the first week of August, first weekend of August, is the Southern Tournament, and it's held right here at St. Peter's Field. So now you've been warned ahead of time, so you can come on out and cheer these Post 31 guys on. There's the guys who chase down the home runs coming out to get the ball. And that looks like it's under control at first base by Riley. He'll catch it just off the infield, and that'll be the first out. So Riley, nice job of saying he's got it and actually meaning it. And he took the ball, and one down for Chad Ryan. Ryan popped up to the second baseman, Perrin. Again, took Rutland in that first inning. Had 2 runners on. They just couldn't get the big hit. Now they're starting to get those timely hits, and that's going to have a chance to be caught on the line. Yes. He hit it hard and hit it flat, but it went right to Zach Pickett, and he'll make the catch for the second out. Again, he had a little pop in the bat. Just defensive player. It was right there. Now Jeff Perry up. He singled and scored back in the second inning for Rutland. As Skelza trying to get out of this inning, and actually he's done a nice job of pitching after the home run by Equistapace. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Rutland American Legion Post 31 for allowing me to videotape their games and put them on public access television. And wow, that's called a ball also at 2 balls, no strikes. Skelza's going to take a little walk after those 2 calls didn't go his way, and looks in, gets to target, and the pitch on the way. That was a good pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Game time temperature just about 81 degrees. Cooling down just a tad. We're probably around 79 right now. And he'll get that inside corner. 2-2 the count, so he's been able to come all the way back and even things up. 2 down, nobody on, and the highlight of this inning was a 2-run homer by Zach Equistapace. He got him, that's the inning, but Rutland will take the lead for the first time tonight, 3-2. So Post 31, Chad Ryan, number 27 on the mound, is back to you. He's got the lead for the first time tonight. He's going to be looking at Tyler Perrin, Logan Skelza, and Pat Riley. Now Perrin had an RBI back in the first inning when Hartford scored their 2 runs, and that pitch too far outside will be a ball. Defensively, you got the big guy, Garrett Brewer, over at first base. Chris Barker, he's at second base. Your shortstop's Matt Sharon, and Jeff McLaughlin is your third baseman. I've already mentioned the pitcher's Chad Ryan, and the guy he's thrown to behind the dish is Ryan Carter. And a pitch called a strike, making it 1-1. Robbie Dorian, he's going to be your center fielder, and Jeff Perry's in left, and John Holtman, of course, in right field. Chad Ryan had fooled the batter badly, but didn't get the call, and that curveball will go by for a 2-1 count now. He went up the ladder and fouled that one off, and even it's up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And I got to tell you, when you get down to the games, you got to come live. You can either bring a lawn chair or sit in the bleachers down the first or third baseline, or the bleachers in center field. It's a beautiful view to watch the game. But you get out here and cheer these young baseball players on, and oh, what a nasty pitch to a right-hander. And it's going to be the second strikeout of the game as he gets a good hitter and Perrin to swing at that. And not only that, he eliminates the leadoff batter. Now Skelza up. I remember Skelza hit that little chopper in front of home plate that Carter got a hold of and then threw down to Brewer and got him out on that 2-3 ground out. But then Skelza ran into Brewer and fell over. It's like hitting a dump truck. And there's an out as Matt Sharon scoops it up, fires to Brewer, and we have 2 down very quickly here. And again, he's retired. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in a row going back to the first inning. It was just that initial before Coach Brewer came out and had the meeting on the mound. He just got off to a shaky start with a couple doubles and a walk. And that's just a little number. That's just going to be Sharon off balance, and nope. Yeah, he had a little more time, I think, to set himself, but that'll be the end of the retired streak. That'll be an error on Sharon. Unofficially, of course. And then we'll let Pat Riley be on first base where Ryan Wetzel will come up, and he lined out to Brewer at first base. That was back in the second inning. And again, Brewer now at first base defensively will hold the runner on. And that looks playable. Perry hustling. And did he make that? Oh, he did make that. What a great highlight catch by a great athlete. Jeff Perry, nice catch, retires the side. 3-2 Rutland. Brewer up, and he had a double back in the second inning, so he represents the bottom of the order. That means Rob Dorian's on deck, and looks like he's going to have a 2-for-2 night, and that's going to drop in over the head of the second baseman. So Brewer, again, breaking out of that slump about 3-4 games ago, continuing to see the ball well and swing the bat well. He's got another hit for a 2-2 night, 2-for-2 night. And Dorian reached on an error twice today. He's been stranded at second base twice also. Remember in the game this past weekend against Woodstock, he had that 3 RBI triple that he hit to the left center field gap. So yeah, he's got real deceptive power. That's going to be foul. You can see Pickett watching it, but he'll be out of play for a strike. Scelza has not pitched bad. I mean, there's been a lot of pitchers giving up home runs to Quistapace this year. And that's a great stop by Matt Paz behind the plate. Didn't allow the runner to move on. Brewer, not much of a lead down there to begin with. He is being held on, though, by Pat Riley defensively. And from the stretch, the lefty now will make the move to first, and Brewer will dive back, and he'll be there well ahead of the throw. And might as well set the rest of the defense for you. I've already mentioned Riley at first, Tyler Perrin's at second, Sean Stone's at short, and Sean Fernandez is at third base. Matt Paz is behind the plate, and it's just a matter if that will stay. No, it's going to be foul. So that'll just be a strike in foul territory, and that'll give me a chance to tell you that the center fielder is Dennis Furman. Zach Pickett is your left fielder, and Ryan Wetzel is the right fielder. And that sets the defense for Hartford post 26. They're out in the field defensively. They're down 3-2. Oh, that's got a chance to be a gapper. And yeah, it's going to be cut off in the gap. And they're going to send Brewer to third, standing up. And coming in on the trail will be Dorian. So Dorian showing you that power I was talking about. Got the ball to the gap. And boy, the makings of what could be a big inning as Rutland with runners at second and third and nobody out, and they're at the 2-3-4 spot in their order. So Matt Sharon now got the table set for that big hit. He is a clutch hitter, and it's a 3-2 game right now. Rutland with the lead. They come in with a 12-4 record overall, 6-1 in league play. The one loss was down in Bennington in extra innings, a 4-3 loss to Bennington post 13. And that one just didn't break for Scelza. Stayed flat and stayed outside for ball one. And this is where Rutland all season long seems to have had people in their lineup to get the big hit. And that's going to be another big hit. That's going to score two. They're going to send Dorian home, and he will not draw the throw. And then the trail play, he's got him. Yep. Sharon came in, and it was a good throw from Pickett out there in left field, but he'll drive in 2 runs before they throw him out, trying to stretch it into a double. So I'm just catching up on my paperwork. So that goes 7-4 out. Yep. Now Jeff McLaughlin up. He has singled and flied out, so he's 1 for 2 today. He's got the bases clean now, but it's 5-2 Rutland. And that one just, again, stayed high and flat and didn't do much, but be called a ball. Post 31, you can get their schedule by looking at the Rutland Herald. That's another ball. I know the guys on the radio talk about Legion ball all the time, and of course you can always call the Legion. They have little pamphlets, little schedules all scattered throughout the whole city, and so there's a strike call. Really got to get you down here this year, especially with the Southern Tournament being here. It'd be a great time to get hooked on Legion baseball. But that's going to be in the dirt for ball. But you do have to make me a promise. You know, I want you to come to the games and stuff, but you still got to go home and watch them on Channel 15, really. Or that really makes my effort kind of by the wayside if you don't watch it after. That's to Furman, and he's backing up. He looks like he's got a beat on it, though. And he'll make the catch for the out in deep center field. Now be 2 down now. Yeah, so after being shut out in that first inning, Rutland with 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and 2 so far here in the fourth. Now Carter up. He has struck out, singled, and scored, Ryan has. Again, he's getting up there with the bases clean right now. 5-2 Rutland, and that's the pitch he struck out on back in the first inning. What he's actually doing, he's waiting nicely and everything. He's got all his technique and fundamentals down, but he's just lifting the head. Time called. Steve Morrow behind home base stepped out, called time before the pitch could be delivered, and we'll just get everybody happy and reset. That'll be Carter in the right side of the box. Skelza on the rubber on the mound, and didn't take him long to settle back in to throw, and that will be too far outside and be called a ball. Makes it 1 ball, 1 strike. At one point, Hartford had that 2-0 lead. It was at the end of the first inning of play. They had a couple doubles and a walk in the top of the first to get their 2 runs. That could be dropping in. Yeah, it was over Perrin's head, and it will drop in. And that'll be Carter with his second base hit of the night. So he's 2 for 3 tonight. And a nice piece of hitting. Now Zach Aquistapace up. Yeah, he's flied out to deep center field, and then he put one out of the park in center field with a 2-run homer his last time up. All this with 2 down, but a runner on. That Aquistapace, good eye right there, not offering at that off-speed stuff. That'll be ball 1 in the count. There's the kick to fire and fouled out of play. That was a good pitch actually right off the fist, and they'll even the count out at 1 ball, 1 strike. Then the Northern Tournament, it's up in South Royalton this season. But you can get up to date on all that as the season progresses along. They'll throw down, and Carter well close to the bag, well back ahead of time. That's Matt Paz behind the plate, and he's been a pretty decent catcher his whole career, and he's got a very accurate arm. Wow, he's just off the corner. Well, I'll tell you, that was a very pivotal pitch, because now it goes to 3 balls, 1 strike, and tendency is to throw a meatball right here because usually the batter doesn't go for it, but has no green light. We'll see what happens. He's got the green light, and he drilled it. He just drilled it. He drilled it. They're going to try to get Carter home, are they? Ryan's going to be held up at third base. Aquistapace will have the double. And I love the fact that they gave him the option to swing the bat with a 3-1 count. Good dividends is, again, most of the time pitchers just kind of not take it for granted, but they'll serve up a pretty much a pitch down the middle of the plate like that. And Aquistapace just roped it out to center field. So he's got a home run and a double tonight. Now Chris Parker up. And that was a good pitch. That's the outside corner going away from the right-handed hitter. And boy, if he can get that pitch going. He's only down to 3 runs right now, 5-2. This could be the pivotal inning, though. If he can get that third out and leave those runners at second and third, that'll be a big lift for Hartford as they get set to come to the plate in the top of the 5th. Oh, Parker. He went chopping some wood on that one, and that'll make it a 1 ball, 2 strike count. The thing about Parker is he can look bad on that swing, but come back here and do a beautiful piece of hitting. That's just the kind of career he's had. Very solid player. He'll bend back out of the way of a rising fastball, and that'll make it a 2-2 count. Again, no breeze really to speak of tonight. It's a perfect night to be here taping baseball. And that one just didn't break. Tried to come back with a 2-2 curveball that was just slipped out of his hands, and now he's ran into a full count. And this would load the bases if he walks Parker, and that would bring up Chad Ryan, who's the on-deck hitter. Oh, good pitch. Got him. That'll end the inning, but 5-2 Rutland going into the 5th. The 8, 9, and top of the order coming up for Hartford. Furman, Pickett, and Paz. Since giving up those 2 runs back in the first inning, Chad Ryan has just really looked like Chad Ryan. He's been real sharp, real in control. Now it'll be a ball right there, though. Again, games coming up at a future date on Channel 15. Of course, weather permitting that they get taped, you know, they play. That's a foul ball, ripped foul down the third baseline. Chester coming in for a doubleheader. That'll be a big ball game. The Brattleboro game, unfortunately, is on the road this year. We know Brattleboro scheduled to be up here at Rutland. Fairhaven Post 49 coming to town. That's good because they're in the viewing area, so it'll give us two teams in the viewing area. And there's that big bender of a curveball that just completely had the hitter froze on that. So Furman will go down in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But no, there's still a lot of good baseball action coming up on Channel 15, plus then the playoffs. That's check swing almost. It's going to be Dorian making the catch. You see how far he came in and covered all that turf, and he'll make the catch for the first out of the 5th inning. We're scheduled to go 7 tonight, barring the weather or a mercy rule or extra innings. And tell you what, Post 31's played a lot of extra inning games this year. I know because I've been here. They put in a lot of hours this year. Zach pick it up, and he will get a ball called at the knee. He's been up once, and he popped up to Brewer, who made the catch down at first base. And Chad Ryan, I like the pace he's working at. You can tell that he's confident in what he's throwing and feels he's got all his mechanics down, and it's a foul ball strike. But he's catching and firing, not too fast, where a lot of pitchers will rush. And he's not doing that where he walks around and takes so god-awful long between pitches. He's got a real nice clip going right now between pitches. And just his body language, you kind of get the feeling he's very relaxed and at ease on the mound right now. Of course, that's the best way to be able to throw the ball, try to be relaxed. That's going to be past McLaughlin to Sharon, and he will get him, and that's the inning. And they'll have that... Check it out. I'm sorry, I'm one off. I got all excited, and it's going to just be a 6-3 ground out. Hey, it happens. It happens. Matt Paz up. I'm sure Matt Paz appreciates the fact that I let him get up to bat here this inning, but he has doubled and scored and flied out to left field. Remember, he started the ball game off with that double to the left center field gap. And from the left side, he's been very effective at doing that right there, going the opposite way. McLaughlin will run toward the very sparsely populated bleachers. See, those are the bleachers I'm talking about. I want those over half full. I think that's not asking much. If I volunteer my time to come and tape the games, you can just come on down and support this American Legion baseball team. There's no charge. You just walk in and take a seat. So I'd love to put the camera over on those bleachers and just have it packed with people. That would be good video. And that's all I'm asking you to do. Just come down and watch a game. 0-2 the count. To the top of the order, Matt Paz in the 5th inning with 2 outs, and Dorian, yeah, this is Mr. Automatic. He will come in and make the catch, and now that's really the inning. And we'll go to the bottom of the 5th, 5-2 Rutland. Chad Ryan, Jeff Perry, Garrett Brewer due up. And this portion of the order has generated 2 of the 5 runs for Rutland. And there's a strike call as again on the mound is Logan Skelson. He really hasn't pitched bad at all. He's got 3 strikeouts in the game. He hasn't issued a lot of walks, hasn't hit anybody. And like his counterpart, he's got a good pace going between pitches, got a nice rhythm developed here. 1-1 to count. And again, I'll go back and tell you in a second here what Chad Ryan's done tonight. Well, maybe I won't. He'll ground to the shortstop. He'll stay back on the ball, and they got him. Oh, what a stretch at first base by Riley. I was about to say the man at shortstop there might have made a mistake by hanging back and not coming in on that ball with the speed that Ryan has, but he did the job of getting it over to his first baseman, and Riley doing the splits. Got the out. Now Perry up. Perry has singled, scored a run, and struck out. And as the seasons progress, Perry's seen a lot more playing time, and he has made the most of it. He's done a good job. And that's going to be a strike. Inside corner, gets the call, and the lefty happy with that. Makes it 0-1. You can see how he got the sign, got settled, and if I tell you, did everything but, just if you had brought that up about 6 or 7 inches, you would have got the call. It was a nice location, but it's going to be a ball. 1-1 to count now. Skells, that will skip it in the dirt and bounce off the umpire, and Matt Paz will retrieve it. Again, Rutland still with a game left with Woodstock here. Fairhaven here. Chester with a doubleheader. So, I mean, there's some good games to watch. And that just missed for a ball. That makes it 3 balls, 1 strike to Jeff Perry. And Skelza. Nice pitch, pulled the string on that, and that had some that natural left-handed cut motion on it you see from lefties. Full count now with 1 out. Graham came all the way back from a 3-1 count and got him with a rising fastball. That's his 4th strikeout of the ball game. It becomes the 2nd out of the inning, and Garrett Brewer up now has doubled and singled. Oh yeah, he scored a run also. He's, again, just been last 3 games, he's found the on switch for his offense. He's got it going. So with 2 down and the base is clear, Brewer looking to get a little 2-out rally going here, and that's going to be curveball strike. Again, we're in the bottom of the 5th, scheduled for 7. 5-2 Rutland. They overcame a 2-0 deficit. And that's off the end of the bat foul. A little nubber down the first baseline. And if Brewer does get on, that'll bring around the top of the order Rob Dorian, who's been on 3 times today. Twice on an error, and then he had a double. He's also scored a run. And that is going to bring Dorian. See that hot shot? Brewer just, again, seeing the ball so well, and it's the quickness of the hands through the strike zone that's making a difference. But he's got a 3-for-3 night going, a double and 2 singles. So Dorian up now, and that's just what they didn't want to have happen, was bring up the top of the order with people in position here on base. So it would be Dorian, Sharon, and McLaughlin, the next 3 that they'll have to face here. There are 2 down though for Skelza, and we have to wait a sec here as the umpire does a little house cleaning on the plate. Oh, they're going to bring up Gary Pelkey. So Pelkey will hit for Dorian. And the pitch to Pelkey will be ball 1. Yeah, it dove a little bit too soon and missed the plate low, and it'll be a ball 1 count, 1 ball, no strikes. Brewer with about a 3-step lead off the bag, and Pelkey will fall that one back into the screen for strike 1. Now, I don't believe there's anything wrong with Dorian. I just think they want to get Pelkey on that bat here. There's the throw over to first, and Brewer are able to easily get back ahead of the throw. Again, that PEGTV website is www.pegtv.com. And that's going to get Brewer down to second base now, yeah. And he will hustle down there as the throw came in just a tad bit late. And that's a wild pitch, unofficially, that will be charged to Skelza. So Pelkey now with 2 outs but a runner in scoring position. Rutland already with the lead, but trying to pad it and add to it a little bit. Well, he'll turn on that, and Pickett's going to go back, and that'll bounce off the wall. Brewer will score, and Pelkey with a pinch hit RBI double. And that's the depth, boy, on this Rutland Post 31 squad. So Pelkey, like I said, gets an RBI and a double, and now Matt Sharon up. So Sharon with a 6-2 Rutland lead, trying to add to it here with a runner at second, and that will just get out of Skelza's hand and float well out of the strike zone. The outfield has put just a slight shift on toward the third base foul line with the right-handed hitting Sharon up. He's got a quick bat anyways, and that'll be the strike at the knee, and that'll make it a 1-1 count. Yeah, I mean, I want you to watch all the games, but I'm just telling you, that Chester doubleheader, that should be a good ball game to watch. And I don't think they're going to get there. Nope. Just out of the reach of 3 Hartford players. And Paz kicked the ball all the way down to the bleachers and made a little extra running for him. And probably not a bad thing and down in the crouch all the time. Get up and do a little sprinting like that. In Sports Beats on Channel 15 and see everything show. It's on Mondays at 4:30, Tuesdays at 5:30, and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. And we're all set. Matt Sharon's back in the box with a 1-2 count against him, 2 down, and a runner at second base. And Gary Pelkey had a pinch hit run scoring double. And that'll be fouled just past Jeff Brewer at third base. Now, see, Brewer didn't make an attempt at making a play on that. 7, 8 years ago, he would have been able to snag that. Now he just barely got out of the way of it. And boy, just dove in the dirt, never had a chance. And nice scoop by Paz to keep the ball in play and keep Pelkey at second base, and they'll go to a 2-2 count now. After trailing 2-0, Rutland has scored 6 unanswered runs. They lead 6-2. And that's what I like about that was a 2-strike swing, just protecting the plate, kept himself alive, got a piece of the ball. And again, we're already in the bottom of the 5th. This thing just kind of having a good flow to it tonight. I don't know. It's just psychological. There's something about a grinded out game on the weekends doesn't bug me. But you want those grinded out games on a weeknight. Maybe it's because 4 o'clock in the morning when I got to get ready for work comes awful early. Pickett slipped down and will be foul. You can see it over there off the being picked up. It's definitely in foul territory. But again, boy, he'd turn on that pitch very quickly and be able to slap that thing silly. So after all that, it's a full count. 2 down. Pelkey will be off running on anything. Remember, he's down at second base, and actually he wasn't off and running on anything. And it'll be a walk, and Sharon easily just bent back out of the way, and they'll put runners at first and second for Jeff McLaughlin, who has singled, flied out to left field and flied out to the center fielder. So he's 1 for 3 tonight. And they're going to pinch hit for McLaughlin with Sorelli. So Sorelli, who was a winning pitcher in Saturday's game, the 9-inning game, will be up for a pinch hit. Now, whether or not he comes in and plays the position, I don't know. I don't know what the coach's plan is as far as re-entry or subs or anything like that. Oh, I had some heat on it. Snuck it right by him for a 1-1 count on the fastball. Swing and a miss by Sorelli. Skells faded outside, and nobody would nibble at it. And it goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Runners at first and second. Matt Sharon and Gary Pelkey out there, and both have pretty decent speed. Sorelli will up underneath that one, follow it up and out of play toward the Otter Creek side of the field, which I believe is the west side of the field. Never was a Boy Scout. But it makes it a 2-2 count with 2 down, 2 on. 6-2 the score in the bottom of the 5th. Rutland with the lead, and got him. And yet see the catcher show the ball. That's the inning. They'll strand 2, but 6-2 Rutland going into the 6th. Rutland with a defensive change. Rob Dorian taking a break. Now they got Gary Pelkey in number 18. He's playing center field. And at the plate will be Sean Stone. He's the shortstop for Hartford as they're in the 6th inning, down by 4 runs. Great pitch by Chad Ryan, and that's a swing and a miss for a strike. In the 1st inning, Sean Stone walked and scored. Then he flied out to center field. This is his 3rd time up tonight, and didn't like the amount of time that Chad Ryan was taking to select a pitch, so he'll ask for time, get it, step out of the box. And again, Chad Ryan, maybe they could also just be wanting to break up this rhythm he's got developed. That's going to be down to McLaughlin. In on the grass, and the throw in the out. So a 5-3 ground out. We'll get things underway here. Again, since that 1st inning, Chad Ryan's just been excellent control. Remember, he had a couple doubles and a walk, and then Coach Brewer came out and talked to him, and really, literally, I made a mark in the book from that point on. He's been a different guy. So Sean Fernandez up now. He's got an RBI tonight. Last time up, he grounded out to the shortstop, Matt Sharon. Oh, I tell you, that's a shot. Oh, he's on the wall. He's on the wall. He'll make the catch about 2.5 feet from the wall. So he hit that ball a mile, but he'll go for a long out. Gary Pelkey with the catch. I tell you, it's almost just completely straight away. You know what was good about that, though? Where I stand, I can hear him. Everybody communicated the wall to him, where he was, you know, how to slow down, this and that, and that's just great communications. So at 2 down, that'll bring up Tyler Perrin. Now, he's had an RBI tonight, but in the 4th inning, his last time up, he struck out. Chad Ryan with 2 strikeouts tonight, but just getting the job done. That's what you want from your pitcher. You know, you'd love to get a big 12, 13, 14, 15 strikeout performance, but if, you know, that's not in the cards, you want him to not hurt himself with walks. You want him to be efficient on the amount of pitches he throws and get the ball in the play and let his defense make the plays behind him, and he's done all that. See how efficient that is? That's 0-2 the count now. 2 down in the top of the 6th. And Chad Ryan, just barely got a piece of it, followed it straight back. Stays alive. Good swing by Tyler Perrin with those 2 strikes to protect the plate. And on deck is the pitcher, Logan Skelza. And Chad Ryan wasting no time. That's going to be caught by Holtman. Oh, he'll misplay it, and that'll be chased down. Yeah, it's going to hold him at first base. So 2 down, and what could have been the 3rd out went through the glove of Holtman, who got a little bit of a slow start on the ball, and he's usually just Mr. Automatic out there. Hey, it happens. Logan Skells up. He's 0 for 2. He grounded out to Matt Sharon, the shortstop, his last time up. Now from the stretch, we'll see what Ryan delivers here. It'll be a fastball. It's going to go toward the hole, and Parker will knock it down, chase it around, and eat the ball. Smart play. Now, that's a veteran. A lot of the guys have panicked and tried to make the throw and make up for that, getting away from it. I'm going to give him an unofficial single on that. But, you know, I've seen a lot of people try to make the off-balance throw and then throw the ball out of play and allow everybody to move up. Pat Riley grounded out to Matt Scherer in the shortstop in the 1st inning, and then he reached on an error back in the 4th. So Hartford trying to get a little 2-out run scoring magic going here in the top of the 6th. And that looks like McLaughlin. There he goes. I couldn't figure out who was going to catch it, but it was Jeff McLaughlin backtracking. That'll end the threat, and it'll stay 6-2 Rutland going into the bottom of the 6th. Gardner will face Sean Fernandez, the new pitcher in there for Hartford, and see if they appeal the play, and they'll say no, he did not swing, so it'll be ball 1. So Fernandez, who was at 3rd base, he moves in to play the pitcher spot. Skelza, who was the pitcher's now in center field. Perrin's gone from 2nd to short, and that's going to be a strike. Wetzel's gone into play 2nd, and I can't see the jersey number right now of the 3rd baseman, to be quite honest with you. Because if I lied to you, you would know it. But as soon as I can, it looks like 22, which would be Avery. And that is going to be called for at Wetzel. He'll make the catch for the 1st out on the outfield grass. He is the 2nd baseman, so he covered a little turf there, but he'll get the out. So Carter, prior to that, had been 2 for 3 on the evening. Now Quistapace up. He has flied out to center field. He's hit a 2-run homer, and he has doubled. So big numbers from the big man, and he'll hold way up on that pitch on the outside corner and be called ball 1. So in the bottom of the 6th, Rutland with a 6-2 lead. If Hartford can't generate at least 4 runs in the top of the 7th, that'll be the ball game. And to the grocery store I'll go. And that pitch called a strike. 1-1 to count, and Quistapace awaits the pitch from Fernandez, and I'll tell you what, that takes a strong man to hold up on a swing like that. And it looks like it's going to be another base hit. No, great range by Perrin, and the throw, and it got him. Oh, did Perrin cover some turf? He got that ball behind 2nd base from the shortstop position. Now bring up Chris Parker, who is very uncharacteristic, 0 for 3 tonight. No, they're going to pinch hit for Parker with Matt Merritt. So Merritt will come up for the 1st time tonight against Fernandez, who's looking to have a 1-2-3 inning of work. First of all, he needs the ball back from the catcher's position as they overthrew the bound. That happens. Again, Hartford down just the 4 runs, not undoable at all. And boy, is that hit. And it's going to be caught by Pickett out there. And for a minute, it looked like it was going to be a gapper, but he chased it down. So Rutland Post 31 coming out in the field defensively with a chance to get the win in league play over Hartford. So Chad Ryan going for the complete game victory. We'll start off with Ryan Wetzel. Since giving up those 2 runs in the first inning, Chad Ryan has dominated Hartford tonight. He's had long stretches of 9, 10, 11 retired in a row. Wetzel 0 for 2 tonight, flied out to left field his last time up, and that's going to be out of play for strike 2. And again, on deck hitter to schedule up after Wetzel is Furman and then Pickett, but we'll have to wait and see. As they did do some juggling defensively, I don't know if that'll carry over into the batting order or not. Boy, you talk about getting that off the fist, and Sharon just casually called for it and got it, and there's that great range by Matt Sharon. So they'll get the 1 out here to start off this 7th inning of work. Matt Sharon's. Yeah, Dennis Furman is up. So Dennis Furman is coming to the plate, and he struck out in the 2nd and popped out to center field in the 5th. About to say Matt Sharon's had a lot of touches tonight, whether with putouts or assists, and he's looked pretty darn good as usual. And that's going to be a foul ball over the fence, bouncing toward the creek, and that'll be strike 1. Again, Rutland coming up with a big doubleheader that'll be on Channel 15 at a later date against Chester, post 67. Oh, nice pitch, strike, fooled the hitter. And again, Chester right now chasing Rutland in the standings. Rutland at 6-1 in league play, Chester at 5-1. So that's a good squad down there. Oh, and he just tied him up and got the strikeout on a nasty-looking pitch for 2 down now. And he's got 3 strikeouts in the ball game, and he's going to be facing Zach Pickett, who is scheduled. And it does look like Zach coming up. Yeah, Zach Pickett coming up, and he represents what could be the final out of the game. He's flied out to first base to Garrett Brewer, and then he grounded out 6-3 to Matt Sharon. And Chad Ryan couldn't get him to chase it. You see him start to cock the bat, but he couldn't get him to chase that high fastball, so it'll be ball 1. Hey, and again, this is Munger Vision bringing you American Legion Post 31 baseball action on PEGTV. That'll be a ball. And that PEGTV website is www.pegtv.com. You can always write to them and just tell them what a great job I do. If you want to tell them what a bad job I do, then that's not the website. That's going to be a base hit through the hole to prolong the game, and that'll be 2 out, 1 on now. Top of the order, Matt Paz up. That's a good hit right there. Paz doubled and scored in the first. He's flied out twice since, once to left and once to center field. Paz the catcher, and good little player he is. From the stretch, Chad Ryan will catch the play but high, and that'll make it a 1 ball, no strike count. Again, Gary Pelkey's in center field. John Holtman's your right fielder, and Jeff Perry is the left fielder. Ryan Carter behind the plate. Garrett Brewer at first base. Chris Parker at second. Matt Sharon's your shortstop. Jeff McLaughlin is at third. And yeah, we're going to have a little chat as Coach Brewer, wanting to get home and have supper, wants this 3rd out. And more seriously than that, he's probably discussing something mechanical or something psychological. But there are 2 down and that runner at first base, and there was a brief visit. Let's see if it has. The only other visit he made, remember, came in the first inning, and that's whatever he said in that first inning settled Chad Ryan down nicely. They're not holding the runner on at first base. Brewer back at normal defensive position, especially with a left-handed hitter up. Good stop behind the plate by Carter. Chad Ryan able to get the first 2 outs on a pop-up and a strikeout. And there's a good pitch right there. And Rutland hosting the Southern Tournament this year, and again, that'd be a great time for you to come out and discover American Legion Post 31 baseball action during crunch time, during the postseason. So now he's come back from a 2 ball, no strike count to make it a 2-2 count. So Chad Ryan with 3 strikeouts in the game, 1 this inning. He's set in the pitch. Going to be fouled off. That was a great pitch and a great two-strike swing to stay alive by Matt Paz up there. You know, if Paz does extend the inning too, I should tell you that Sean Stone is the hitter on deck. As they just chase down the foul ball, everybody gets back in their positions. Carter just pulling the mask down now. We'll get in the crouch, give the sign, and we'll get set to go with a 2-2 count and 2 down. 6-2 the score. Rutland in the top of the 7th. And the pitch. There'll be a hard chopper. I've lost it. There we go. First, oh, what an awful camera job. What you missed was Parker fielding it, throwing to Brewer. And I did the cardinal sin of shutting my left eye, which is what I watched the game with. But Rutland will win it, despite the sloppy camera work. 6-2 over Hartford, so they will won 3 in a row over Hartford in a week's span. The winning pitcher will be Chad Ryan. A good job by Post 31, a good effort by Hartford. And get out there, support American Legion baseball action, and support Munger Vision.